The old Victorian house creaked and groaned as the wind howled outside, rattling the windows in their frames. Inside, a lone woman sat by the window, her gaze fixed on the dark street below. Her name was Eleanor, and she was a recluse, a prisoner of her own anxieties. The streetlights cast an eerie glow on the deserted street, their flickering light dancing on the wet pavement. Eleanor shivered, not from the cold, but from a deeper, more primal fear. She had a feeling that something was watching her, something unseen and sinister. Suddenly, a figure appeared in the shadows across the street. It was a woman, tall and slender, with long, flowing hair that seemed to shimmer in the moonlight. She wore a white dress that billowed around her like a shroud. Eleanor's heart pounded in her chest as she watched the woman slowly approach the house. She moved with an unnatural grace, her footsteps silent on the wet pavement. The woman stopped at the foot of Eleanor's porch, her face obscured by the shadows. Eleanor could only make out the faint outline of her features, but she could feel the woman's intense gaze upon her. A chill ran down Eleanor's spine as she realized that the woman was not just watching her, she was beckoning her. With a silent, beckoning gesture, the woman motioned for Eleanor to come closer. Eleanor's fear turned to terror. She knew she should not go, but she felt an irresistible pull towards the woman. Her feet seemed to move of their own accord, carrying her towards the door. As she reached the porch, the woman turned to face her. Her face was now illuminated by the moonlight, and Eleanor gasped in horror. The woman's face was a mask of pure, unadulterated evil. Her eyes were black pits that seemed to suck the life out of Eleanor. Her mouth was a gaping maw, filled with rows of sharp, pointed teeth. Eleanor tried to scream, but no sound came out. She was frozen in terror, unable to move or speak. The woman raised her hand, her long, skeletal fingers reaching out towards Eleanor. Eleanor closed her eyes, bracing herself for the inevitable. She felt a cold, clammy touch on her face, and then a searing pain. She opened her eyes to see the woman's face inches from hers, her eyes filled with a malevolent glee. The woman leaned in closer, her breath hot and foul on Eleanor's face. "You can't hide from me," she hissed, her voice a raspy whisper. "I'm always watching." With a final, chilling laugh, the woman vanished into the shadows, leaving Eleanor alone in the darkness. Eleanor stumbled back inside the house, her heart pounding like a drum. She locked the door behind her, then leaned against it, gasping for breath. She knew that the woman would be back, that she would never be safe again. The woman had marked her, and she would not rest until she had claimed her. Eleanor spent the rest of the night huddled in the corner of her room, her eyes wide with terror. She prayed that the woman would not come back, but she knew deep down that her prayers were in vain. The woman was always watching.